Hello everybody, Renzo here, back with yet another mock review. Now in case you don't know what this is, recent images of the Bionicle art book that was one of the Makuta contest prizes basically revealed this looking set. This kind of was one of the concept images for a Skull Warrior and basically revealed that it had two stud shooter guns and that it had a waist articulated feature, and it was also cutting a random toa. I think it was Pohatu in the background. So that was always fun to see. Very violent. I'll link the original picture in the description. But today we're going to review this guy. So, what am I calling him? I'm going to call him Skull Blazer. I don't know, it just seems like, and I'm not referring to the dank memes that people are going to refer to. I just mean like a blaze, like a, I don't know. I don't know if you guys like that name or not. I just kind of chose it. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, talk about all the articulation and stuff like that. So as you can see here, we have Skull Blazer in all of his glory. One problem I do have about him is that he is just a little too skinny. The original design for the character was a lot bulkier, including with the chest section. It was like really bulky, but I just didn't really know how to do that. Or I do know how to do that, I just didn't necessarily want to do that. But I'll go back to, I'll do kind of I'll put that piece on the master chest plate, like the master chest piece. I'll put that on just to see how it looks. So here's a little 360 of him, so you can get all the details. Actually, this design was pretty different. Instead of using the actual rib cage as the front piece, because it kind of showed the rib cage going around the front armor, so that's what I tried to do. Obviously doesn't work out the best, but I think I did okay. One thing that I really do want to fix is the giant axle for his neck. That's kind of annoying. It just looks really just out of place and stuff like that. I do really like the color scheme, I have to admit. It looked like it was trying to go for trans neon orange, but I decided to stick with red because that's what it looked. It just looked a lot better. And trust me, I think this looks a lot better. Now, his guns are supposed to be the exact same, and I am sorry that I didn't get that 100% done. That is only because I did not have another one of these black stud shooters. I didn't have this much red studs, and I did not have... Well, that's pretty much it. I just didn't have another stud shooter like this, so this had to go, and I think... still doesn't look that bad. I also opted, instead of to use the regular ball... Yeah, exactly. To use the regular ball joint hand, I decided to use this so he doesn't have any good articulation, and that piece does pop off a little easy, just because that piece is a little cracked, unfortunately. And I know it kind of sucks that he doesn't have ball joints to move around his hands, but, I mean... it doesn't really affect his posing all too much. In fact, it gives him more kind of interesting. By the way, I didn't have a regular red bone in that color. I'm not even sure if it exists. So I just decided to use that because that's what the mock-up did. Also, same goes with this piece. The original design looked like it was going for that, I think it was from Breeze. Breeze 4.0, Breeze Breakout, I think, had that piece. It was basically the sword, and it had silver and red kind of on it, but I just opted to use this piece because it kind of shaped up better with this blaster. And yes, the studs do shoot if you turn that, and I do have a little what's this called, a Kordak ammo right there. So yeah, legs are simply built, nothing too special. I did add these spike elements, which I do like these spikes on the arms. I do think that kind of gives a interesting looking shape. And these pieces were kind of supposed to be what were on here, but they just looked oversized and completely really big, so I just kind of shrunk those down. I think that looks alright. Tons of friction adders in the legs, so he gets lots of dynamic poses. And that's pretty much it, honestly. He does have a trans orange brain stock, but that's really it for this guy's design. Oh yeah, he does obviously have mass pop-off feature. That goes without saying, obviously. And here is his waist feature in action. You need to move it manually. Nothing super special. Kind of gives them a slicing look, because these were used as swords and guns, which is kind of a cool concept. I like weapons that do that. And now, before I let you guys go, we're going to move on to a size comparison. So as you can see here, the size is kind of uneven, but these are basically both the shooters for Bionicle. This was supposed to be what Skull Warrior actually was, which, by the way, not really a fair size. He's really small, and I actually compared this guy to Kopaka 2016 because I think I looked at their size, and I think they're about the same size, which is cool. Gives him a regular, which gives him the opportunity to go up against a Uniter, which would have been pretty imposing, honestly. But that was just a little look to show you how big this guy actually was in comparison to, say, a Skull Warrior. So guys, tell me, do you think I did a good job at representing the original model, even though it was just a concept drawing and there wasn't really much to go off of except for the color scheme and just a few extra pieces that I could use? For instance, I actually think the shoulder pauldrons were actually supposed to be, or the shoulder armor was actually supposed to be the original hero piece that was used for like all the masters. Fortunately, I just couldn't get that. I didn't have it in gunmetal. It doesn't exist in gunmetal, so I couldn't use it. And as we speak, like, obviously, I'm not recording this real time. This will release later once I actually record it. But I've been working a lot on mock-ups of a few of these images, so you guys can all look forward for that. You're going to be getting a bunch of different mocks. I've already worked on like 5 of them, so a bunch of different reviews coming out later. It's going to be really cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Renzo Mox, and goodbye.